Well, they gave me this cool postcard when I got there. It's pretty nice, right? I think it's I think it's pretty nice. What else? The way that the title came up in the beginning, pretty cool stuff. Oh god, there's got to be something else. In Return to Silent Hill, we follow James as he searches for his past lover after receiving a letter from her where she tells him to come to Silent Hill. Only now, Silent Hill is unrecognizable. He'll navigate the town, encountering monsters and uncovering hidden truths. This is the third Silent Hill film, the first one since Silent Hill Revelation, which came out in I think 2012. The first two don't really have a good reputation, although I have seen some love for the first film, and yeah, this new one does nothing to help that reputation at all. And really quick, I will be doing a ranking on this series, so look out for that, but please be patient. Sadly, I don't do this full time yet, but yeah, I'll try to get to that ranking video as soon as I can, and yeah, let's keep going. Christoph Gans, director of the original movie, returns to direct here. The first film definitely has issues, but I thought it was a visual feast, so I was expecting to at least get a visual feast with this new one, and yeah, that didn't really happen. There are some good visuals here, like the environment sometimes really does come to life. Sometimes it's shot very nicely, but that's few and far between. Most of the time, it just looks pretty bad. Either bland or strange shots. There's sometimes it looks like someone's filming on an iPhone. It just doesn't look very good. There's a few times where they cut to a first-person perspective for like 3 seconds for some reason. I don't know, they just throw that in there. And then sometimes just, it looks like obvious green screen and then just a lot of bad CGI. This film does have a much smaller budget than the other two films. I mean, just look at the marketing and you might wonder, wait, what marketing? That's my point. But even still, things look bad way too often. Like, there's a few creatures at certain points in the film that I guess they worked for me, but they also didn't really do much to help the film. And I could look past some things that are like budgetary constraints. You know, I understand that, but you know, you got to offer me something else, anything else. I knew within the first few minutes this was going to be a bad movie. Immediately, the acting, not very good. There's a few moments that are just awkwardly directed, like it just does not feel right at all. And then there's a couple things that I just thought were weak storytelling. Before I get more into it, I have not played the games yet. I do have most of them, but I plan on collecting all of them, playing all of them, and doing a bunch of videos on them. That's why I haven't played them yet. But anyway, I bring that up to say I don't know much about Silent Hill 2, the game that directly inspired this movie. So there might be things that I bring up that did originate from the game. But I will also say that doesn't matter because any issue that I have here is just because this is a bad movie and I could guarantee it was done much better in the game. First, let me start with the acting. The film stars Jeremy Irvine as James and Hannah Emily Anderson as Mary, but the film mostly follows James, of course. Earlier I said the acting was not very good, and yeah, most of the time, it's not. There were a few moments that I thought were acted alright, but then other times, it really does feel like PS2 era voice acting. But hey, maybe that's what they were going for, right? But I will say, with those bad moments, it didn't always feel like it was their fault. Sometimes, it just felt like they were given poor direction and they were doing their best to try to make the scene work. The story structure and the plot are horrible here, and it's not just me. I went online to check what fans of the game were saying, and yeah, most of them agreed that the story here just kind of sucked. I mean, there barely was a story. Things would kind of just happen. James would encounter something or go to a different location. We'd get a sudden, poorly done flashback, and then that formula just kind of repeated for a while. Eventually, though, it did look like they were actually going to start giving us a story. Something big is finally happening, and then suddenly we flash away to a different place entirely. It doesn't ever get explained. It never comes back up, and then we just kind of leave that. We're back in Silent Hill. We ignore the big thing that was happening before we flashed away, and they just move on like it never happened, I guess. And please forgive me, I am being pretty vague. I'm just trying to avoid spoilers, but I hope I'm getting my point across. It just felt like they had a list of bullet points, so they just jumped from thing to thing to thing without considering, you know, telling a coherent story. So it was just very sloppy, and by the time we got to the conclusion, I just felt extremely unsatisfied. I did not care for these characters. I did not care about the mystery that they were trying to set up. And most of the time, even the visuals were not engaging me at all. Plus, there's some pretty dumb stuff in here that just makes no sense. It's a bad movie. I mean, there's nothing else to say. But those are my thoughts on Return to Silent Hill. Let me know yours. Look out for that ranking video. And please subscribe. I talk about movies, TV, video games, and more. Or go watch some of my other stuff. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.